Okay, so what we're going to talk about right now is slope-intercept form. Slope-intercept form is going to be our main form for all linear equations, okay? Now, when we see the word linear, the first thing that we see is the word line. Okay, so linear equations are going to be like this, this, or this, or this. They will not do this. Okay, they will be lines. Okay, so when we have a linear equation in the graph, we want to graph it in slope-intercept form. Now, what's really good about slope-intercept form is that it tells us a lot of key pieces of information. Okay, so our base form is going to be y equals mx plus b. Okay, when we learn about independent and dependent variables, x is always going to be the independent variable. Okay, independent variable. And y is going to be our dependent variable. Okay, so if I have a job, how much money I make depends on how much time, which would be, the time would be the independent, I work, right? The time would be independent and the money would be dependent. So whatever y depends on x, basically. Okay, so that's what y and x are. Now, remember I said it's called slope-intercept form. We have two other letters in here, m and b. Okay, one of these is going to be slope and one of these is going to be intercept. Our m is going to be our slope. Okay, now we also call that our rate of change. So when we say miles per hour, okay, or we say dollars per hour, or anything where you hear the word per or something like that, what's going to happen is we're going to go up the same amount every time. So if I make $5 an hour, if I work 1 hour, I made $5. If I make 2 hours, I make $10. I'm going up $5 per hour, okay? So when we graph it, slope is always graphed in what we call rise over run, okay? We really like our slopes in a fraction because we know we can go up or down and we can go right or left. And you'll see when I graph it what it's going to look like, okay? Now, the other thing we don't know, the other letter in here is B, okay? B is called our y-intercept, okay? We also will call it in word problems the starting value, okay? Now, our starting value or y-intercept is where it crosses the y-axis. So if I have a line, okay, and I think of the word intercept, I'm thinking of like if I intercepted a football, I cross the path of the football and I touch it. So wherever we cross the path of the y-axis is where we get that word intercept from. And once again, it's slope and intercept. So we have a slope and an intercept, and they're the two important pieces. Okay, now I'm going to graph a quick line for you. Okay, we're going to look at the equation, and I'll write it up here. We're going to graph y equals, and I'm going to give you guys kind of a tough one, -2 over 3 x, let's go plus 5, okay? So when I graph, okay, look over here real quick. What letter comes first in the alphabet, B or M? B, okay? I'm going to graph my B first. So what is my B in this equation? Okay, it's 5. So my y-axis is up here, my x-axis is over here. Where it crosses the y-axis is going to be at the 5 point. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's a dot right there. Okay, I'm done with B. B is 1 point. Okay, now my slope is -2 over 3. And if you remember from over here, what is slope? It's rise over run. Okay, so if I'm going to go up -2, if you were going to think of an elevator, if you're going to go up negative floors, are you going up from the ground or are you going down towards the ground? Negative would be down towards the ground. So we're going to drop down 2 places. 1, 2, and then my run, because remember it's rise over run, I'm going to run 3 points to the right. So I'm going to go down 2 from here. 1, 2, and then I'm going to go right 3. 1, 2, 3. There's a point. Okay? Now, if I graph a great line, okay, and I got this nice little ruler out. If I graph a great line, it should be all right. All you need is 2 points. You connect those 2 points, you got it. So there's a line.